All right, what's going on, everybody? 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins here for a little Wednesday weather chat. Just kind of hanging out, talking about the weather, what's going to be coming in this upcoming week, and always this time of year, of course, we're going to be talking about the tropics as well, too. So let's get started out there for today. Hi, Ryan. How are you? I see Mary Lou out there as well, too. First, Tom. Hey, Tom, what's up, man? Good to hear from you. Man, it's been a while. Let's start with summer, right? We had the summer solstice kickoff yesterday morning. I think it was 5:13. I saw 5:14 as well too. Ballpark, right? That's when the sun is at its highest angle over the northern hemisphere, and that direct sunlight, as the Earth is tilted towards the sun during the summertime, gives us more sunlight, gives us more heat right from it. We are technically further away from the sun on the summer solstice than we are on the winter solstice. But during the winter solstice, the Earth is actually tilted away from the sun. So we have that low sun angle. We don't get the direct sunlight just as much. I mean, we have direct sunlight, of course, but just not as much. So that started yesterday. Yesterday was our longest daylight of the year, with just under 13 hours and 55 minutes of daylight. Sunset continues to get a couple, well, sunset will go to about 8:30. Right now it's about 8:28, 8:29. The mornings will start to get a little bit more on the later side. So you just notice that by this weekend, it'll be like a minute or so each day, or 2 or 3 days over the next week. The sunrises will get a little bit later. Who did I just saw somebody out there. Kelly, what's going on? How are you? Happy birthday. Good for you. Sally, how are you? Bunny, good to hear from you as well, too. So there you go. That's what we're talking about as far as summer goes. Let's get into some of the summertime heat that we're seeing out there. It's been terribly hot for folks across the Central Plains up towards Chicago. A little bit of a break for the Northern Plains, Minnesota. I mean, most of Minnesota was hotter than Tampa was yesterday, even the day before. Atlanta, 96 right now. It's 88 in Tampa. 93 in Oklahoma. I mean, all these places in the 90s are obviously warmer than we are. It's even, well, it's 88 in Tampa, yeah. 94 in Wilmington, North Carolina, on the coast with cooler water. We're sitting at 88 degrees. The orange that you see there, those are the areas that are under some sort, well, these are heat advisories. There's a lot of air quality issues in many locations as well, too. But that is the heat dome that you've been hearing a lot about. And you can see it tends to sink a little bit further to the south. This is tomorrow. This is, well, let's go into your Saturday right there. Look at the heat still. I mean, look at Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. Still hot. Then as we get towards Sunday, it shrinks a little bit and comes down to the south. So things will get better. I got to tell you, in the Northeast, it's almost been chilly. I've been seeing even some reports from friends up there talking about it's too cold. But that's not the case the further west you go back out towards the lakes where it's been really warm. We're kind of on the bottom end of that, so we're not going to get a whole lot hotter than what we are right now. But, I mean, look, 92 to 94 degrees all the way through the weekends. It's pretty warm out there. Right now, overlooking Amalie Arena, where we've got the big hockey game going on tonight. No issues. I think we stay dry out there. There's a couple sprinkles around, but nothing big for today. Dew point's a little bit lower still. You probably noticed that yesterday. Felt a whole lot better. That is going to start to rebound later tonight, meaning it's going to get a little bit more humid as we get into tonight and tomorrow, which is kind of crazy. Yay, Ryan says. But, you know, enjoy the break that's out there right now. Upper 80s to low 90s right now. These numbers are running 2, 3, 4 degrees cooler than where we were at this time yesterday, so that's good. Dew points about the same as where we were yesterday. We actually had some drier air earlier this morning. 24-hour difference type, but you can see dew points in the 60s, and now look what's happened. We've already started to rebound from the dry air that we saw this time yesterday afternoon. So the dew point in Tampa, that +4, it means it's 4 degrees higher than what it was yesterday, which means it's a little bit more humid than what it was at this exact time yesterday afternoon. Rain, had a couple sprinkles, as I mentioned, down into Pasco County, and then they moved southward into parts of Hillsborough and Pinellas, but there's nothing left over right now. And a very, very small chance that we see anything else for the rest of the afternoon. I can't rule it out, but if you're going to Amalie or you're watching the hockey game outside, anything outdoors this afternoon, don't plan on seeing any rain. There'll be a very, very small chance of it. Here's the forecast model to show you what I'm talking about. That's 7 o'clock. Overnight looks fairly dry as well, too. Now, tomorrow, That's about 6 in the afternoon. Notice Hernando and Citrus County, northern Polk County. And then this latest run is not bringing a whole lot of rain down south. The previous one was. So we really went about only about 10 to 20% again for Thursday. But Friday, we're going to bring it back. So afternoon storms get started, especially inland, by about 1:30, 2 o'clock on Friday. And then look at that. Storms try and push back towards the coast at least a little bit by 7:30 on Friday evening. So Friday evening plans, keep that in mind. So Ryan's want to know when we get our late day storms back. This is it right here, Ryan. Friday afternoon. And then notice the weekend. I'm not going to go out that far. It's not going to go that far. But the weekend looks kind of similar. Could even have a shower around the morning. But the weekend rain chances go up. So 40% or so on Friday, 60% for Saturday and Sunday. In fact, you can see the coverage here. Notice where we're looking at right in here, like a 30% chance, mainly inland on Friday. This is not taking into too much account that moisture coming back to the coast. So we'll see if that happens. Saturday, 50 to 60%, 60 to 70% on Sunday. Mostly in the afternoon. Don't cancel plans. I'm going to try to take the boat out Sunday. And I'm not even going till the afternoon hours. So I just know right now that anytime after 1 o'clock at least, I'm going to have to be keeping an eye on the sky. So if you have plans Sunday afternoon, do the same. Just know that there's going to be some rain around, and especially if you're at the beach or on the boat or on the water somehow. Keep in mind, keep an eye on that. All right, next 12 hours, looking pretty good. Josh says, I need to photograph some lightning. How much longer until, yeah, our rainy season usually gets going? Well, Josh, we've started. We're officially in the rainy season. We had a push of dry air that lasted a couple of days. That's going away. And sometimes it takes a little time, right, to get rid of that dry air. Not only down here, I mean, it'll come in, it will be humid, right? But in the mid and upper levels, it's still a little bit dry at times. Once that moistens up all the way up, then you get those afternoon showers and storms. And then we start looking at what wind pattern we're going to get under, because an east wind gives us more winds at the coast. A west wind means more winds, or more rain inland, excuse me. More rain at the coast, more rain inland, depending on the wind. Here's Thursday's planner. Yeah, 93, 94 degrees, warm one for sure, but only a 20% chance for a shower. And then as we get towards that dew point forecast for tomorrow, notice it's back into the 70s. That's when it's really, really sticky. And that's air you can wear. Veronica, no problem. Good to hear from you out there. All right, so here we go. Weekend weather forecast. I went 60. Grant had 60 this morning. I'm kind of going with that as well, too. I do think the storms will be a little bit more inland on Saturday, more along the coast on Sunday, but not a huge difference. And the models, I'll be honest with you, have kind of flip-flopped a little bit back and forth on that. Here's the tropical update. No development expected the next 5 days. I know you weather nerds want to see stuff. I don't want to see stuff. I'm kind of, look, I wouldn't mind seeing it. I wouldn't want anybody to get hit with it, but quiet is good for us, right? You don't want that. Now, I do want to point out a couple areas, and this is actually even tough to see. This area right in here is a little bit of wave. Clearly, a big wave came off of Africa. It's a little early in the season to be looking at waves out here. It just is. It's typically later in July, August, September. Called those long track storms. Plus, I don't know if you can see the haze here. There's a lot of dust coming off of Africa, and more forecast to do so. In fact, I don't think I have that in here. Let me show you that next week. Here it is here. Look at that. And this is that's not it. This is the forecast right here. See that where that brown is there? This goes out to the Saturday. This is Sunday, Monday of next week, Tuesday. Look at all this coming off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And it gets all the way out here. This acts to dry out the atmosphere, and it makes it really tough for storms to form in areas right here where it's really thick. So that's why I'm not thinking too much of it. Back here to the satellite and radar, what we're seeing out there now, at least the satellite, we will watch some of these waves coming across the southern Caribbean. So like Aruba, obviously Barbados, the southern windwards, Aruba, those areas could get some moisture from it. Models kind of flip-flop and some try and develop something. Either way, it's more of something like this, and it is not something that's coming up into the U.S. So that's good news. Good news, at least for now, right? We'll take what we can get. I forgot I had this in here, but look, you're on my Facebook page. You might even be on my YouTube page. Go ahead and like and follow my YouTube page. I'd like to build that a little bit more because I could do a little bit more over there. Bobby D. Weather is my Instagram, and Bobby WTSP. Hit me up on Twitter. Lots of fun stuff there. Different, not always weather stuff. Mostly sunny and dry this afternoon, hot, 94. There's the weekend forecast, and you see the low to mid 90s returning. In fact, decent afternoon showers and storms each afternoon, really getting started by Saturday. So I see all these folks asking, for those afternoon storms, they're coming back. Yes, Joe, absolutely. Joe says it makes for nice sunrises and sunsets. Let's talk here. Let me come back. Let's look at some modeling data here. Show you what I was talking about in the tropics. Really nothing exciting, to be honest with you. Let me get out to some of the ensembles here. So this is the GFS. And you can see a little bit. You're always going to see a little bit of a rotation here. Not always, but it's a gyre. It's a low pressure area develops. Just sits there. It's nothing developing it tropically. Could be. Here's a little bit of that low trying to get inside the Eastern Caribbean by the time we get towards Tuesday night. Nothing. That's not impressive at all. Not lower pressures. It's just a couple of the model runs. But you see as we get closer to the end of next week, about a week out, it's trying to lower pressures here in the southern Gulf of Mexico. Still, again, nothing big, nothing to worry about there. If you notice, it's doing something like this. It's actually trying to bring it. Let me see if I get my pen to work here. No, that's not going to work. Okay, pen not working. It's going to bring it somewhere in here, drag it across, and then perhaps try and drag it in the Gulf of Mexico. That's just a few model runs. Don't worry about that. That's over a week out. We don't really pay attention to that as well. Here we go with, well, there's a little low coming off of Carolina. You see that? That'll happen tonight and tomorrow, and then actually deepen probably a little bit as it moves away, but nothing to worry about there. And then you can see this version is the European model, and by the time we get towards the end of this weekend, it doesn't have anything in the Southern Caribbean. And it's got a little low out here developing, just nothing going on. So that is why we say it's quiet, and that's why you see this from the Hurricane Center saying no development is expected over the next 5 days. All right, I want to show you a little bit of wind. I don't know if you can see this. If you're going to the beach, Friday afternoon, there's going to be a little bit on the breezy side with southwesterly winds, so keep that in mind. The weekend looks good, especially Sunday. If you are boating, Sunday is the best boating day, but at the same time, it's also one of the decent chances to see showers and storms, right? So not necessarily the two of them going together. Let me get you back out real fast and we'll do some questions. I want to show you what's going on out there right now. You can see satellite and radar speaking. We've got quite a few clouds around the area for today. I haven't heard anybody complain yet here about it being cooler, and that's what we're talking about. So that's the good news. Josh, absolutely. Tagging you on Instagram, the best way to get something shared on air. Absolutely. Instagram, tweet at me. Facebook Messenger, yes. But I don't see those messages in a timely fashion for some reason. If you've sent me pictures, or even a message, it's like a day later where I'm responding, I'm thanking you. And they just keep getting racked up in there. And for some reason, it just doesn't show. Here's video. Love to see it. Love to show it on air. And of course, give you a shout out for all that. But one of the better ways to do it is to tag me on any of my social media accounts. Let me turn some of this on here. SPC. All right, so there you go. Light winds. You see this clouds coming in from the northeast. That's obviously where our surface winds are. We're going to get a little bit onshore wind onshore, but you don't see any rain in there, and the radar's in there. Bigger picture, we do have some storms up towards the DC area. You can see some trying to form up there right now, but nothing terrible going on. I saw a couple watches earlier, and you can see looks like we've got some severe thunderstorm. Are those the watches that we have here? I think those are basically the watches. What do we have here? Yeah, that's coming back down through West Virginia. So nothing major. That's a cool rain coming across Long Island right there. Oof. The real story, guys, is the heat, right? You know how warm it's been out there for many folks. Up into, well, you can see it. Look at this circle. You see that right there? That big circle kind of centered over near eastern Louisiana, Mississippi. That is that heat dome. That's the high pressure. And it's just sitting there sinking air. And that air, as it sinks, it heats up. And obviously gets on the warmer side. All right, let's see. We got any questions? How's everybody doing out there today? Everybody hanging out? Staying cool? Any big plans this upcoming weekend? Any questions about the weather? Any activities you're doing? Anything like that? I do know this heat that we've been seeing for many parts of the U.S., as I showed you earlier, is going to back down a little bit. So that's really good news for them. I've read an article where it said it killed over 2,000 cattle, just the heat alone. So yeah, it's very, very dangerous, can be, and something that we'll be keeping an eye on. All right, guys, if that's it, I will let you go. Good to talk to everybody. Mary, good to hear you. One of these days I'm going to drag somebody in here on the camera. I won't do it on purpose. I won't do it without asking you, but it says, do you want to bring these people in on camera? That would be kind of cool. Do a little interview on my Facebook here. All right, that's it. Let's go. Let's say, tropically speaking, I really don't think we have anything to worry about. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Anything to worry about through the upcoming weekend. Most of next week looks to be relatively quiet as well. That's going to eventually almost get us into July, right? And so things are going to stay a little bit on the quiet side. We always watch for something to pop up, but right now everything looks like it's going to be quiet. The heat and humidity, they obviously are coming back for us. There's nothing we can do about that. We are going to be looking at that getting hotter the next several days. Now, the temperature itself won't go up too much because we'll see a few more clouds, but it'll feel warmer to you. I don't think we're going to get quite hot enough that we end up with heat advisories. You need air temperatures in the mid 95, 96, 97 degrees or so, plus the high humidity for our neck of the woods at least to get heat advisories. And I think that will be okay as far as that's go. Look, it's going to be hot, it's going to be humid. It's Florida, guys. It's Tampa. That's what happens this time of year. Bunny, you're very welcome. Josh, good to talk to everybody. Ava as well, too. Everybody have a great afternoon. I'll see you on air at 5 o'clock this afternoon, 5 to 6 o'clock. And then Natalie's out for one more day, so Tyler's in now. He'll be in at 6 and 11 for her tonight. And then everybody's pretty much back to normal by the time we get towards tomorrow afternoon. Let's go Bolts. Come on, guys. We can do this. I can't wait. We got to do this. And that's why I say if you follow me on Twitter, I'm always like, what are they doing? I'm that guy, right? And I'll admit, I'm that guy. I'm like, man, come on, Sergachev, what are you doing? And sometimes I've been like, Cooch, that was a lazy pass. And to say that Cooch has a lazy pass is like not correct. So I'm just living on feelings on Twitter during these games. It's kind of funny sometimes to watch. Nothing personal, of course. Joe, no problem, man. Thank you. Good to talk to you guys. Okay, that's it. I'm out. Have a good one, guys.